Don't go it alone and try to handle it yourself. The insurance company's claims adjuster's job is to pay you the least amount possible. Let Robert Cody from Property Loss Consultants handle your claim and get you the legal maximum amount possible. Public adjuster Robert Cody represents only the policyholder, and he has no affiliation with any insurance companies. Property Loss Consultants cover the state of Florida with concentration in Dade, Broward, Palm Beach, and Martin counties. Public insurance adjuster Robert Cody uses his skills that he learned as a former claims adjuster to get you the most money for your property loss. Robert handles hurricane damage, water damage, fire, vandalism, roof, and wind damage claims. He will get you top dollar for your claim. See why so many businesses and property owners trust public adjuster Robert Cody to get their claims settled for the highest amount. Call Robert today at 954-205-4455. That's 954-205-4455.
You are listening to the Ask the Experts show with host Steve-O. We will be right back with more experts in the field of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Join us every Thursday from 5 to 6 p.m. Now, get ready for more Ask the Experts.
And we are back. I am joined with Robert Cody, who is part of Property Loss Consultants. He is our expert in public adjusting. So how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Great. So can you tell me what a public adjuster does?
A public adjuster is an advocate for policyholders. For example, if you own a home, you have insurance, and you have a claim, you could hire me to assist you and advise you with your insurance claim. Much like insurance adjusters, we're just on the other side of the fence.
So you protect the policyholder.
Correct. Right.
So if I'm in a situation where I'm just constantly being denied, you're going to come in and help me.
Yeah, denied or underpaid, confused about coverage, unsure. You know, we handle a lot of the headaches and the unknowns for our clients, the insured.
And so you're the person that also, if someone's being run around, basically run in circles for years and can't, get any movement in something, you're able to kind of expedite it and get things pushed along?
That's right. Oftentimes, when I do get the call from a client, potential client, they are just fed up with the games, the waiting time, the low ball estimates, and they have better things to do.
We need you for the medical side too, it sounds like.
Pardon me?
We need you for the medical side too, it sounds like.
I don't handle that, but someone should.
So when you get involved, about what percentage of, let's say that someone's being denied and they've been denied for a long time, what percentage success rate do you have of getting someone money where they were being denied before?
Well, usually when I'm involved, they've already got an offer. Once in a while, I'll have a denial, and there's usually two options on a denial. It's either, or three maybe. I'll get involved. I'll find out what's going on. I'll negotiate with the insurance companies. That doesn't work. We can demand or request mediation. Mm-hmm. That's just bringing us to the table. We could bring in, experts, roofers, engineers. Mm-hmm. And if that doesn't work, then there's always lawsuit.
Which is hopefully the last resort.
Yeah, hopefully never get there. But it's becoming more and more common today.
Lawsuits becoming more common, not mediation. Mm-hmm. So mediation's often unsuccessful.
I've had some good luck lately. It all depends. But mediation, you should at least give it a try.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
to avoid the cost.
Exactly. It can be very lengthy once you get, an attorney involved. They get paid for their time and expense, and it can be dragged out.
So then they're also, of course, paying the lawyer. It just becomes a big nightmare, right?
Correct.
So how long have you been doing this?
I got involved in the business in 1992, working for a major insurance carrier, and I left them to go independent, and then I became a public adjuster in 2001.
So what made you decide to go out on your own?
Representing the other side, the people who really need to be represented because, people usually don't have many claims in their lifetime, one or two, so you don't really get the experience. And what happens over time is policies change, and the insurance company has just gotten, it's become a really small circle of coverage from your policy. They keep taking away more and more coverage. And
Or putting these loopholes that you would have missed that, just finite details.
right, something as common as a water claim, like a roof leak, wall leak, they're taking those out of the policies. Coverage, you have to pay extra for that. And
They're
so it's
snowing it.
becoming like a catastrophe type, catastrophic type policy.
Where it used to be standard.
Used to cover almost anything, everything.
I mean, didn't they separate it even back before? Like, of course, that's weather versus just a leak, a normal leak that you have, roof damage.
Yeah, they started to separate coverages, and wind is one of them. They started to separate here in Florida. Wind and, in other parts of the country, earthquake.
Flooding.
It became like a la carte, just adding and adding, But they tempt you with the low premium, but it's bare minimum coverage typically.
So what you used to get before in a bucket, now they've started breaking out to per diem kind of thing.
Yeah, right. That sounds right. Yep. Yeah.
Well, that sounds, like an insurance company.
Yeah, exactly.
So how long do people wait to hire you before dealing with the, adjuster assigned by their insurance company?
Usually, if I'm hired after the fact, it's usually a couple months have gone by. That's usually when they just reach the end of the rope. And but the insurance company has 3 months to pay or deny your claim in Florida, and that's a really long time.
It can be if you're waiting for money to fix something that's detrimental.
Living with,
A missing roof.
mold or water damage,
Oh, yeah, the mold.
things, drywall taken apart. I mean, it's no fun, and it seems like insurance companies, take advantage of that. 3 months is a long time,
Yeah, it is.
but I'm usually hired before the 3 months.
So they get frustrated enough that they contact you.
Correct.
And how do they find you? I mean, how do they know to go to a public adjuster?
Good question. Most of the time, I'm referred by past clients of mine, or maybe even friends or family. But I can be found on the internet, possibly on Facebook or some other social media.
Why don't you give folks your number, your
Sure.
website, and your social media?
My phone number is 954-205-4455. That's my personal cell. And my web address is propertyloss, that's LOSS.net.
And then where you're on Facebook under Property Loss Consultants?
Yes, I am, correct.
Any other social media outlets that you use?
Trying to remember where my SEO guy left off, and I believe it's,
You could get
I've
some-
got Twitter as well.
You could get some Instagram photos of that mold.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I don't think I have Instagram for my business, but I should.
So what kind of qualifications do you have to be a public adjuster?
Really, a license and to be
Licensed in the
bonded.
state of Florida.
Yes, by the state of Florida, just like an insurance adjuster is, but it's just a little different. It's probably a harder test, and we're required to be bonded.
And for folks who don't know what that means, what does that mean?
What?
Bonded. What does bonded mean?
Well, that's in case a check comes in and I run off with your money. You can,
We've got
use
some
the bond
insurance
to-
that we're going to get it back.
Exactly. It's just additional insurance, correct.
Well, that's particularly good in South Florida.
Yes.
I remember when I first moved here, there was a mechanic who worked on my car, and he said, "Let me give you some tips on South Florida." He goes, "Don't prepay and don't trust anyone. Welcome to South Florida."
Right.
So if you have been working with a client for a long time and you go to mediation, it looks like you're preparing for trial, how often does it settle out before you actually go to trial when you're working, trying to get the insurance companies to pay the claim?
Trial,
When you take them to court?
almost never. It's very rare.
Really? So they've
Yeah,
already
very
decided
rare.
pretty much if it's not
Yeah,
going to settle?
it's really, when an attorney takes over, it's kind of a continuance of what I've been doing. It's just the attorneys now. And they're also required to go to mediation as well before a trial. So it almost never goes there. In all the years I've been doing it, maybe twice.
Because the insurance companies are just so large and so powerful, they
Yeah,
figure
they
they'll
wanna
take their
settle.
chances.
Everybody wants to settle.
Yeah.
Everybody gives in and come up with a
With
number in
something.
the middle. Hmm.
So,
Right.
what if the insurance company has paid a small amount of the claim? Can someone still get you involved because they don't feel it was an adequate amount, but they've
Sure.
accepted what was given?
Yes, that's what usually happens is when I get the call from a client who's already had a claim, they've gotten a payment. And just because you get a payment doesn't mean that the claim is over and final and done with. The insurance company, the state statute is 3 years to report the claim and negotiate the claim.
Oh, okay. You have 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
What happens after 3 years?
It used to be 5, but that's a long time actually. But what happens, I'm not really sure. Usually it's hurry up and get it done before that
So, yeah.
that time arrives, which Hurricane Irma, the 3 year is coming up September 10th.
So there are
of
people still
2020.
trying to get paid out for that.
I've got a few new ones, so I'm encouraging people that do have a hurricane claim, if they're not happy with it, to call and have me review their claim. Or if not reported a claim, I'm doing a lot of new inspections on roofs that I'm finding damage from Hurricane Irma.
So people didn't realize it, but so you come out and you also inspect the home.
Yeah, I give free inspections, and then I reevaluate or evaluate your policy and let you know what I think about the claim. And we've gotten some recent new work out of it.
Yeah, I think that's key. So if you think, so for anyone who's like, say, we've just had, even just a minor set of winds that blew in, having you come out and look and see if there's any damage in the home, it's free.
Yes.
Would be worth,
Absolutely.
worth their time.
Absolutely.
How long does it take you to do a general inspection?
If it's just a roof, I'll get my ladder out of the car and I'll go up on the roof and walk
So
around.
you actually do that part yourself too.
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
You do it all, huh?
Sure.
The paperwork
Yes.
and the actual physical.
Yes, absolutely. It takes maybe within an hour to do.
Just to walk
look
the
at the
roof?
policy, look at the roof, and tell you what kind of damage I found on the roof. So it's really a no-brainer to
Yeah.
give me a call and have me do that for nothing.
What if people find leaks kind of some period after the hurricane, within a certain range? Is there a certain range they had to report that because it causes mold? Is there a certain range that they would have had to report that leak after a hurricane?
Yeah, the policies have a section under conditions where you're supposed to give prompt notice to the insurance company when you realize you have a claim.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'll give an example. So hurricane, let's say Irma hits in September, and 6 months go by, and you didn't realize you had damage the whole time until you call someone like me, and I go up on the roof and we find it. Well, when you realize you have the damage or a loss, and you report it, that's prompt notice. Mm-hmm. I mean, at least in my eyes, it is.
Yeah.
And I've done that numerous times and gotten coverage, but you're supposed to report the claim right away. And
But let's say they don't notice a leak till later. I don't know.
yeah, that's fine. The problem becomes, though, is if you had the leak after a storm and you repair it before the insurance company can see it, now you've prejudiced the claim.
So what happens then?
Well, the insurance company can use that against you and say, we had the right to inspect the damage. It's repaired. We can't pay you for it now. So that becomes a problem.
So you may have to live in a mold-infested house, as you mentioned earlier, until things get settled or they get someone out. How quickly do they usually send someone?
Usually within a week.
But if it's been a big
report
storm,
yeah, okay, well,
then they were different scenario, right?
you've got a little bit longer. But you're supposed to contact, I believe, within 48 hours of getting notice of the claim.
So let's say it is like a major hurricane, and there is significant damage. You are worried about living in a home that's going to now have mold damage or health risk. Maybe you have a child with asthma, or you have asthma. What's your right? You can't touch it. You can't fix it yourself. What do you do?
Documentation is key. You should take pictures. You should notify the insurance company as soon as you can, but you also got to protect your property from further damage. So let's say you had a pipe break and flood your home. First thing you do is call a plumber and call a restoration company. And whatever damage they do. I mean, you got to do.
So they basically document what they're doing. They take
They know
pictures.
to document for the insurance company. Yes, pictures and videos and moisture meters and dry logs and things like
So
that.
of course you have to basically, if there's an emergency, you're basically going to put out the fire,
Right.
and then the people you hire, you just hope they do a good job documenting.
Correct. And notify the insurance company as soon as you can.
Is there ever a time where they might contact you at the same time, like we were talking about earlier, and just having you, before you hire someone, have you come out?
I can be
and-
the first call because I can report the claim for them. And when I do that, you cross your I's and or cross your T's and dot your I's.
Right.
And do it properly. There's a proper way to do things, and I make sure that gets done.
So the client basically has to hire you and pay it out of pocket, but hopefully they get enough with their claim that maybe some of your services would be covered. Is that possible? Or
Oh yeah, when I'm hired, basically it's illegal for me to take any money. I don't take any money up front.
Okay.
My fee is it varies. It's usually from 10 to 20%, and I don't get paid until the check arrives that I negotiate. So if I'm reopening a claim that you hadn't been paid on, I can't take anything from that. From the day I get hired is from that point forward is what I can charge on.
so their
the money's-
past payment you don't get paid on,
Nothing. No.
but anything new that they get, like you get a percentage of that?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, it's usually 10 to 20.
Okay, yeah.
Right.
That sounds
there's-
fair.
But usually, oftentimes I work for months without any payment.
Yeah, because I'm sure it takes quite a bit of time too.
It does.
So where are you located?
Pompano Beach.
Okay, so give folks your number and your website again, and we're going to go to a short commercial break.
Sure. 954-205-4455. That's propertyloss.net.
And we'll be back after the short commercial break.
Do you have a property insurance claim, whether ongoing, underpaid, closed, or even denied? Don't go it alone and try to handle it yourself. The insurance company's claims adjuster's job is to pay you the least amount possible. Let Robert Cody from Property Loss Consultants handle your claim and get you the legal maximum amount possible. Public adjuster Robert Cody represents only the policyholder, and he has no affiliation with any insurance companies. Property Loss Consultants cover the state of Florida with concentration in Dade, Broward, Palm Beach, and Martin counties. Public insurance adjuster Robert Cody uses his skills that he learned as a former claims adjuster to get you the most money for your property loss. Robert handles hurricane damage, water damage, fire, vandalism, roof, and wind damage claims. He will get you top dollar for your claim. See why so many businesses and property owners trust public adjuster Robert Cody to get their claims settled for the highest amount. Call Robert today at 954-205-4455. That's 954-205-4455.
And we are back. We're back with Robert Cody from Property Loss Consultants. If you have a question for Robert about any claims or difficulties that you're having, please give us a call, 1-888-565-1470. So what types of claims do you see a lot here in Florida? I know we've talked a little bit about the water and, of course, hurricane. What else do you see that are types of claims that you handle?
Fire. Every now and then I handle a fire claim.
So it's a rare one, huh?
It's not every day, but it does happen for sure. Fires happen just like water breaks happen all the time. Pipe breaks, roof leaks, vandalism. Once in a while, we get a vandalism claim.
So at someone's home, or you cover people's businesses as well, correct?
Homes, businesses, condos.
Like spray paint? What do they do? What kind of vandalism?
Sometimes that's all part of theft. They break into a home, they do some damage, and they're very sloppy in the house. They don't care, throwing things around, breaking things, screens and doors.
Computers. Well, they
Yeah.
probably steal those, right?
Right? Well, yeah, they handle those carefully.
Let's get the big screen TV.
And believe it or not, I handle collision of vehicles hitting homes. That happens.
What, people just get angry and they crash their car?
Well, sometimes there's a bad curve in the road, and I've had clients that their home's been hit multiple times.
Oh my God, it'd be moving,
It's
wouldn't
at
you?
the end of a road, and people are drunk,
Oh.
and those are usually structural damage claims, and they can be quite costly.
Yeah, I've always said I would never live at the end of a road where you just have a straight shot.
Right.
It looks very dangerous.
Right.
So then you have to go and basically help your client get their money from the auto insurance companies, which is just as difficult as...
Well, what happens is the homeowner's insurance will cover it, and then they'll go after the auto company.
So then
Right.
where do you get involved with that?
I just work for the homeowner.
Okay.
Right.
So the homeowner's policy covers it, but you may have to. Do they sometimes not give the homeowner enough? Is that where you're getting?
They'll still handle the claim the same way, even though they know there's subrogation. But they'll take a deductible, and then when they go after the auto insurance company, whoever, the first monies they get, they're supposed to give it to the homeowner to make them whole. I haven't heard of it happening yet, but they're supposed to do that.
Wow.
So they do recovery deductible.
And you said the vandalism is not very prevalent in this area?
I don't get that many. I've gotten them, but not a whole lot, believe it or not. Yeah, mostly wind claims and water break, pipe breaks and
The
things like
wind
that.
damage.
Mm-hmm.
We've been very fortunate, knock on wood, with weather lately. So hurricane season for you must be a busy time.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that and tornado.
I've moved to different parts of Florida, West Coast. I've moved to the Keys to handle the claims.
Oh, the Keys must have kept you busy.
It's devastating down there. I haven't been there in a while since I moved, but that was quite a bit of damage. But
Now, you don't still work down there and cover that area? You just cover
I
basically...
would go almost anywhere in Florida.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you're in the
if
car
it's
a
a
lot.
large enough claim, or I can refer, if I'm not going to go that far, I'm going to refer them to someone I know, someone in my group.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
What are some tips you can give folks to basically when they're trying to select a public adjuster?
Good question. So you'll find them everywhere online. And I would look for someone who is experienced, someone you like, comfortable with. Maybe choose somebody from an association.
Like a homeowners association?
No,
What do you mean,
we have
association? Oh.
associations. Ours is the one I belong to is called FAPIA, Florida Association of Public Insurance Adjusters, and we have biannual meetings, and we get credits, and we get educated by attorneys.
How often do you have to get continuing education?
Good question. So we, the senior ones, like I'm considered a senior adjuster now,
Yeah.
20 every 2 years, and for the non, it's 24 every 2 years.
So the laws are constantly kind of changing,
Oh.
and is it tough to stay on top?
It really is. It's
What
a
are
lot,
some
of,
what
a
are
lot
some
of education. You can't get too much.
what are some of the things that have changed recently, like this year?
Well, this year, in the last couple of years, managed repair. So this isn't your typical insurance company that'll, when you have a damage, you make the claim, they'll send out their adjuster, and they pay you. Well, there's several insurance companies, even local here, that they do their own repairs.
Oh, the insurance companies actually do their own repairs.
Yeah.
May I ask which insurance companies do that?
People's Trust.
Okay, who else? Now they're small, right?
People's Trust, they're here in, I think, Deerfield Beach.
Okay.
But they're not that small. They're pretty, they're all over South Florida.
Okay.
Yeah. And trying to remember the other companies, a couple others.
They do their own
We
repairs.
usually don't want to handle those, but we're learning how to. And the hardest part is getting paid and going through the proper steps to get to a number that the homeowner is happy with.
So why were you reluctant to work with them before?
Payment, mostly.
So they were being very difficult about paying the client?
Well, our
then
name
paying
does
you?
not. They recognize us, but they don't put our names in the check
Oh, I see.
like they normally do. Hiring us is a little bit like hiring an attorney. We represent them, and
So
our
do
name
they-
goes on the check. And
Yeah. So are insurance companies intimidated when a client hires you? Does it add a little more brass to the table?
It does. I mean, I would think that, some insureds, homeowners are very hard to deal with because when you don't understand something, you put up a fuss sometimes more. So we understand the insurance company and how they think. So there's no yelling going on, and we deal with each other at a more professional level typically,
Right.
and we're sometimes able to get things done quicker.
But just by getting involved.
Yes.
Is that so? In 80% of the cases, do you find that's what happens once you get involved, or is that a high number?
Well, to be honest with you, a lot of times to get what you want, you got to wait. You got to be patient. That's the biggest thing I ask for my clients. I ask for three things. I ask for trust. Trust me to, when you hire me, trust me to do the right thing for you. Cooperate. Let me do inspections. Let the insurance company inspect. And be patient. In that order. And patience is how you get the most money with insurance companies.
Yeah, you're going to need patience with insurance companies.
No doubt.
So you seem very calm and like you have a great demeanor. So you're probably very
Try.
very helpful to clients who are stressed out about the leaking roof. And
Right.
So what's the most difficult type of claim to process that you've really just noticed that is just takes a lot of patience and time?
Well, some of my newer clients are Hurricane Irma claims. And so when you report a claim 2 years down the road with an insurance company, they just don't react as well as they would if it was just a couple of months.
So we have to go now, but I've enjoyed speaking with you. And give them your phone number one more time.
Thank you. 954-205-4455.
Thank you for your time. And this is the end of Ask the
Thank you.
Experts. And we will talk to you again on Monday.
Thank you.